What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
Our very first Halloween episode.
It's true.
Spooky.
Spooky. This is my the extent of my costume today is red glasses. I got these for Coachella. They're actually really cute.
Well, this is my orange sweatshirt that I have that I only wear around
That's really
Halloween
cute,
time.
actually.
Thanks, Beach. Long story short, the clothing company I used to work for, they had an orange sweatshirt, and I kind of, in my mind, that was synonymous with my move back to Oregon.
Okay.
And I didn't buy it in California because I was like, oh, I'll just get it in Oregon, tax-free. And then when I moved back up here, they were completely sold out. And so the 4 years I worked with the company before I recently quit, was I just chased this fucking orange sweatshirt. So when they made something different, I was like, yep, full send. And someone's like, when are you going to wear it? I'm like, Halloween time. Duh. And they're like, you going to save it all year? Bitch, looking crispy this year.
It looks really good. I liked your Barbie one too.
I got
That shit was so good. I like that one
on
a
the
lot.
Barbie shirt. That was I've had that forever. I bought that. That was fast fashion. I bought that at Forever 21 for like $12.
I mean, it was a really good sweatshirt to combat my shitting in a trash can story.
Yes. And you talk about Halloween, we want to talk about spooky retail. Forever 21 is spooky. Yeah, Forever 21's, I hate to say it, but Forever 21 is, after working for luxury clothing for so long, and having a really close girlfriend that I worked with at that clothing company, who was very sustainable, taught me a lot about, not just buying shit just because it's $2. Yeah. Spend $60 on something, have a nice item that you can wear. Like she had like really nice jeans and really nice cottons, and I'm just buying stuff just to buy it. And she's like, no, you need to think about how much water is put into everything and everything that goes into it. They say the same thing with Halloween costumes. You're supposed to like thrift them and don't buy stuff that you're just going to toss away.
Yeah, you should get something to reuse. We should get back to that. But before I forget, I have been trying to give you a birthday present.
Oh, no.
For a while. No, it's not bad, but... I hid it back here. Greg and I got this for you in LA.
Is this the actual bag it's supposed to be in?
Yeah.
So if you're listening to the podcast, because that's what people do is they listen to podcasts, it's a Funko bag. Ah, bitch. This is so cute. And he's in red pants. It's a Machine Gun Kelly.
It's a Funko.
I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
Should he do the show with us?
He could. Well, no.
Okay,
I don't think we got a good angle.
We'll put him here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But we got that when we were in LA. We have gone to the Funko store in LA multiple occasions. And during the pandemic, it was really hard to even get in. And then you have to wait in line. And I think this time we actually ended up waiting in line. But yeah, we were like, we got to get Alexa Machine Gun Kelly
thank
Funko
you so
Pop.
much.
Yeah. And it's been in my car since we got back. And my intention was to give it to you like when I saw you or whatever. And then we continue to do our podcast and I just fucking forget to give it to you. So,
well, if anyone out there knows Megan Fox, Machine Gun Kelly, anyone who runs in their little circle, here's my fucking story about Machine Gun Kelly with pdExes. All right. So I've loved Machine Gun Kelly. I've referenced him a few times. And my ex, who was the artist who had clout, right? Knew people, had friends that were famous punk kids, and they're all punk bands with their tattoos and all Vans and tight pants. It's just whatever. I'm not biased at all when it comes to talking about him at all, right? And basically, very long story short, was when I moved down there, I really wanted to go see Machine Gun Kelly. He started in San Diego and ended the tour, as I've mentioned before. And I begged him to go. I begged him to go. But it was at a concert hall that was really close to us. I really wanted to go. He brushed it off, didn't want to go. So then when I moved back up to Portland, I went. And then we had kind of sort of kept in contact. Not really. Like he told me he was going to move to Portland and that would be what would kind of save our relationship. And so we kind of talked on occasion, but nothing overwhelming. And I remember telling him I was going to the Machine Gun Kelly concert, that you had helped me buy a ticket. And he's like, well, you're just going to go oh my God.
Just going to go smoke weed.
Are you going to go be high all night? You're going to go be high. You getting high. And it's like, to me, as someone who lives in Portland, Oregon, where weed is legal, where I've been smoking weed since I was 18, smoking weed to me is just like smoking.
Right.
I'm not getting high. And like, I guess, yes, sure. But my ex, someone in his family, started doing really heavy drugs. And the way they started doing heavy drugs was through marijuana, the gateway drug.
Whatever.
So then he assumed that because I smoked weed long term, I would, eventually pick up heroin. That's genuinely what he thought. We had conversations about that.
It's a fair
gateway drug, but it doesn't mean that I'm a druggie because I smoke a plant that is calming when people drink alcohol and rage and drive drunk and all this crazy shit, right? So we talked, and he had painted a pretty much life-size mural for Machine Gun Kelly. And I helped him with it, and I was like, oh, he was on tour. He fell off of tried to do a backflip, broke his nose. So half of the mural was his nose bleeding, right? So he had all these things, right? Come to fucking find out, his friend knew someone who knew someone, and he got to go meet Machine Gun Kelly at his house and take him the fucking painting. And bro, wow. And I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, I mean, his house is great and all this stuff. And I just was like, one, gobsmacked.
Right.
Because you got to meet the person who literally, like, I would kill to meet, was there for me when my mom passed away. That's the big thing, right? Hey, thank you so much for helping me lose my mom. Like, thank you for helping me get through that traumatic time in my life. Something I'll remember until I am 105 years old.
Right.
And this motherfucker didn't even want to go to his concert. So Machine Gun Kelly, if you're out there and you have that fucking painting on your wall, you know exactly motherfucking which one it was from your friend of your friend with the punk band. You should throw that shit in the garbage. Why? Because he wouldn't take me to your concert. And I'm also the girl at your concert who held up the sign that said, I broke up with my boyfriend to see MGK. That was my glow in the dark sign. It was so fucking good. I was front row. I held it right in the front. He saw it. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Brought it back when I went to this last concert. Everyone behind me had a good old laugh. And I was like, it's just full circle. I was like, everything came full meld. But I told myself the full circle Machine Gun Kelly moment would be me getting to meet him and shake his hand and say, hey, you have been my favorite. My ex painted you a picture for fucking clout. And
Didn't even
what a
want to go to your
shitty
show.
person. Correct. Because even if I if I met someone that an ex of mine loved, if I met some crazy professional fighter, I'd be like, hey, I don't talk to this loser anymore, but you want to call and leave my ex-boyfriend a fucking voicemail and say that he's a douche or what the fuck ever. If he would have said, hey, MGK, do you want to call my ex-girlfriend because she loves you and you want to just leave her like a stupid voicemail? He would be like, fuck yeah, bro, let's do it.
Also, like, you guys were like trying to get back together. It was this very ambiguous moment too. So like, and again, when you meet a celebrity, you want to do all these things, and sometimes it's not appropriate to ask. But like, knowing Slipknot and everything, like, it's okay for me to go like, hey, Sid, check out my friend's tattoo that he got on his fucking leg. And Sid's like, yo, that's dope. It takes nothing to ask sometimes. And the fact that
they're
like,
sitting at his house, he made a big point to be like, oh yeah, we're hanging in his living room with this, couches and people are smoking.
Obviously, we'll get into it a little bit more. We already talked about last week. We're going to start diving into this douchebag. But like, the fact that you're like, oh my God, this guy saved my life. I want to thank him. And again, every celebrity can't have everybody thank him or whatever.
Of course.
But like, you can't even just go like, hey, my ex-girlfriend loves you. We're trying to get back together or whatever. We're working
Not less is more.
Hey,
my
would
girlfriend,
you mind
you could have said anything.
signing a $1 bill? I can just give it to her. Or will you just do a photo with me? Will you just be like, yo, what's up? Like, she would die. And like, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that he didn't even give a fuck is like, it's
not so much that he didn't do anything. It's the fact he chose not to do anything.
And then
tell me about
tried to rub it in your face. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, no, I didn't even want to go or whatever the fuck.
So thanks. We're kicking off the Halloween episode.
Yeah,
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Please, if you see this, throw that fucking painting away. And
I know it's so funny because like we've talked about this before, but like he had a whole thing with Slipknot, and he was like, oh, they're fucking 50-year-olds at mass or whatever. So I always find it funny because I'm really good friends with them, and like so I really like Machine Gun Kelly. And I guess I don't know if they've worked everything out or whatever, but I just always find it funny because it's like, oh man, I can't control how people feel, and that's their beef or whatever, because people are like, I got to take sides, but like, I always find that kind of funny.
Are we gonna eat any of that Halloween candy?
We can. Oh yeah. So these are amazing. Have you had a Take 5?
Yeah,
they're so good.
They've been around forever.
Yeah.
It matches the theme. Matches my.
Yeah. Some ASMR.
God, that's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
I can't stand masticate. You know what that is?
Oh yeah, when
someone's chewing.
I don't like the sound of people chewing. It's so disgusting. Like A, stop. B, stop.
I will take my AirPod out of my ear when I'm drinking. Like I'm drinking a protein shake or something because I'm very throaty.
My friend Dave and when we're talking on the phone, like sometimes I can hear him like just all the drinking noises. And it's the AirPod is picking up all the sounds or whatever. The phone is like literally right here, but sometimes that shit's be hella loud, and it's like, oh man, I wish I didn't have all these complexes. Honestly, I'm just hyper aware of like, wow, the sound of you drinking soda. I'm sure I do a lot of things. Greg's always commenting on silly things that I do. We were talking about, what were we talking about before this? I interrupted you to talk about this.
When it comes to Halloween, you have your, they say there's certain types of girls. You have like Disney girls. Then you got the girls like me, them fucking Halloween girls. I plan Halloween fucking November 1st. I'm planning for the next year. I'm planning for that next calendar year.
I was like, damn, bitch, you missed it. I'm that girl. I'm not actually that girl. Well, I'm like, the day after Halloween or Halloween night, I'm like, fuck.
What should I have been? Yeah. So I have my Pete Davidson this year, which is contrary. He's going to be the Mac Miller to my Ariana Grande.
Ooh.
We said for the last 3 years, I've been Ariana Grande. I bought her long ponytail for during the pandemic.
Right.
Kind of hoping that Halloween would exist that year. And it didn't. And I ended up working. And I worked at a restaurant and I had the long Ariana Grande ponytail and I had a bejeweled face mask because everyone wore masks.
Yeah.
And then Ariana Grande's biggest like tell or read would be her sleeves. So I had an oversized sweatshirt on, like the one I was wearing in the last episode. And all night I walked around the restaurant like this, and I took people their cups like this and set their cups down with my sleeves. And I just did everything with my sleeve and had my fingers out. And I kind of would like run around like this, like her. And I was in a little bit shuffle around. And obviously it is a very animated version of Ariana Grande. But the fucking sleeves had everyone in stitches. And then... because it's, plays whatever stupid music, at restaurants. It's not like someone gets to plug their iPod in. And they played an Ariana Grande song and people stood up and they were like, it's your song. And like, if there was ever a fucking moment for me to just live my life, that was really cool to be her. So, still in the pandemic last year, I really just wanted to, be the same, do the same thing again. Because the ultimate Ariana Grande costume would be Rain on Me, where she's in the purple pleather. It's very cute. That's pandemic. That's the costume that I envisioned. But because we haven't had like a real Halloween, to like, this would be like the first year really where you can like kind of do stuff.
We had a little bit last year.
But not as much.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for this year. I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I always think about like Halloween outfits in like April, May. And then when it comes time to Halloween, I always like, fuck.
You're supposed to get, rule of thumb is you are supposed to get one thing for your costume every month. And then by the time Halloween rolls around, you've got everything.
Yeah.
I had my big sweatshirt. I had the knee-high boots. I had the ponytail. The ponytail was the make. So then this last year, worked at the same restaurant, and then we were just going to do a little cute thing afterwards. I was literally just going to wear the same costume again with a different sweatshirt. And my fucking friend in Cali was like, you can't wear the same thing. And I just was like, oh shit, what do I do? I got nothing else. So I just came out with an even harder version of Ariana Grande where she is in the, I want to say it's the, with the bunny ears.
Oh yeah. Bunny ears.
Dangerous woman.
Yeah.
And she got the bunny ears. And my friend last year saw that I did Ariana Grande and she was like, hey, I have these bunny ears if you want to wear them. And I was like, bitch, yes. So they've been sitting at my house. And so then I was that. I wore a little black bikini top. I had black pants with some black lit. And everyone was like, oh my God, it's Ariana Grande. And I was like, feeling my fucking oats, bitch. I was like, this is the best day of my life.
I did, when I first came out, my friends had a party in Seattle. It was a Halloween party. And I used to sew. I still sew. But I made a bear costume with the stomach cut out. And so, because I thought it was really funny. He's really cute. The subgroup of gay men that I hang out with is bears. So it's like chubby, furry, bearded guys. And me, a little supple 21-year-old. I just thought it'd be really funny to have a bear outfit. So I had a really cute hat with little ears that tied underneath. And then I just had this furry outfit, but the stomach was cut out. And everyone really loved it. And then one of my other friends went on a like a big gay cruise, and it was Halloween themed. And so he asked me to borrow it. So I shipped it to him. He wore it on this cruise. And then one of my other friends wanted to wear it. And so then I ended up getting it back and then shipped it to him so he could wear it. And so I think I still have it. I can't remember if I still have it, but
Sisterhood of the Traveling Bear costume.
it's a cute kind of traveling outfit, and it's like 20 years old now. But yeah, it was like a really cool kind of moment because I just wore the outfit once, and then my other friend was like, "Oh my god, it's so great! I have to wear it." And he did porn, so everyone like knows who he was. So he's like, "I need a really cute outfit," and that was really fun. It invites people to like want to like rub your stomach or whatever because it's like, doesn't close up in the front, so it's like really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I remember I got it back so I could mail it to my other friend. I always want to dress up, but I just, whenever it comes to Halloween, I just like never do. And I'm just like, you fucking idiot. Because I'm so crafty and creative. But we decorated our house. So I always do these cutouts on our windows. And the first year we were here, I did Nightmare Before Christmas.
So Ryan does these. It'd be like what I would most, being not a creative person, it would be like the things you do in like elementary school where you get your silhouette cut out, where it's like someone's got a light next to you and they cut out and it's a cute little button nose and all that shit. Right. That's like what Ryan does on their front window. So it's black paper, it's all cut out, and then they do really crazy lights. And so then it basically looks like their whole house is a decoration, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And Ryan's a little fucking little bitch ass, and everything has to be fucking perfect. So you like look at this shit from the street and you're like, oh my God, where did you buy that? And Ryan's like, what do you mean? I just used an X-Acto knife and cut it and glued it.
I didn't even use an X-Acto knife. I used scissors.
Fuck
it's
you, bitch.
Worse. Yeah, so we have a projector. So I'll project on the black paper and then I just trace out the thing. So it's not that hard. And then I sit there and I cut out meticulously the stencil, and then I tape it up on the window. And then we have white blinds. So we put the blinds down and then we hit it with our hue lights, different colors. And then, so the first year we did it, I didn't really think it was a big deal. I mean, it was like super cool because I did a big picture of Jack Skellington. We did the, whatever that cute curly Q mountain thing. And then we did Zero. And
it was
then
very cool.
We kept it up, and then for Christmas I put on a Santa hat, and then we put a red nose on the dog.
Cute.
So cute. Last year we did Fantasia.
That was great.
That one was cute too.
With the Mickey, that was great.
This year we did Coco.
I didn't know that one.
It's cute.
It's very cute. It's very cute, but I didn't know what it was.
And yeah, so I did the kid. I got the dog, and then we got this other guy. I'm trying not to spoil anything. So we got 3 people. Then I got to do other things for the other windows because you have a bunch of different windows. So I want to make.
Are you keeping those for Christmas?
We'll probably keep them up. Yeah, we'll keep them up till Christmas time, and I'll probably just put Christmas hats on everybody just to kind of make it kind of cute. But yeah, we keep them up. And then before, like I want to say like 2 weeks ago, it was like a week before we did them. Greg was outside and a neighbor was like, when are you going to do your stencils? My kids love them. And
so
I was
cute.
just like, oh, like, you know, cause
that's special.
Obviously I want to show off for everybody because I'm artistic and I want something cool. And it doesn't take that much time. Like I cut them all out in one night, but it's meticulous fucking work, like sitting there cutting everything. But the fact that like people drive by or they take pictures, they're looking forward to it. Or they walk down our block specifically
because I'm sure the first year everyone thought it could have been a fluke, and then when you did it last year, people were like, "Oh shit, they're going to be that fucking house." Ryan told me today that they, of course, have to be that bitch, and Ryan is the house that does the big fucking candy bars.
Oh yeah, that's Greg's thing. Okay, so when you grew up, if you went to a house that had a regular size candy bar.
Well, you gotta back up. You knew when you were a kid, at least I know now that I'm an adult, we weren't really that privileged, right? When you're an adult, you're like, oh, damn, we weren't really doing so hot when we were kids, but whatever, everything was okay. If your parents taught you, and you weren't in the wealthy neighborhood, your parents taught you that you were supposed to go to the nice neighborhoods. It's true. The nice neighborhoods with the big driveways because they had the money for the candy.
Yep. And it was all those like developments, and you knew you could just hit up all those houses.
And the next high level that mom taught me, I want to say, was it mom or maybe one of the moms that she worked with at the country club? You want to go to the neighborhood with all the hills because ain't nobody going up there.
That's
and
true.
When you go to the fucking highest house on the highest thing and they got their fucking lights on and they're waiting for kids to come up there because they just... you're not in the right neighborhood. You're not in that prime location.
Yeah.
You get the neighborhoods with all the hills. Everyone wants to go flat. They want to go flat. But when you go to the ones up there, you got people just dumping their things because you're the only kid they've seen all day.
Yeah, we did the full candy bars last year, and it was like kids were like freaking the fuck out. And then
what was the best? What was the best?
I don't
that you
remember. We would have kids come up and like, we'd just be like, we had a big ass thing full of candy bars.
Bars.
And they would just like, what the hell? And Greg is like, yeah, just take one. And then sometimes we get people 2. And they would just be like, oh my God. And we had a fog machine. It's also really cold last year. So we had a fog machine and I had cardboard kind of blocking it out so that the fog would kind of stay on our porch. And then we just played music and like, it was just really fun. We are very fortunate. We have a lot of really good neighbors. Our street is high traffic trick-or-treaters. Yeah, it was just kind of cool. Cause like you go any other direction and people just don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters, but our street's pretty wide. And I think a lot of people
it's really
decorate.
Safe. And I think it's safe too. It's not a busy road. It's not right off of a busy road. It's in a central location where it's in like the middle of a neighborhood, which I think is really good. I'm in an apartment. We don't get trick-or-treaters.
Yeah. There'll be some people that are like, we just don't get any. And I'm like, man, that sucks. And like, we're really fortunate. And then, I mean, all our neighbors are for the most part, we're like really cool.
Step your candy game up. You better get some full-sized.
But
baby.
I was at Costco earlier today getting candy bars. And man, I don't like Costco. I love Costco and I hate Costco.
Costco should be a haunted house. Just having to go in there.
Did you go in during COVID, man? That fucking shit was.
Let's just say right now, I love that Costco was like, oh, if you were hoarding toilet paper, you want to return all this shit. No.
Oh, yeah.
They were I need to return. No. Hand soap, no.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you.
Hey, I have 200. No. Sorry, you got to keep it. Oh, you wanted to buy for quantity? No. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because everyone went out and just like took advantage of that. And then, and I get it. It's the survivor, like I gotta hoard all these things, but people are then getting a bunch of stuff so they could like divvy it out and sell it and then
resell,
These stores are just like, no, fuck you. Because now you're creating an unnecessary demand. We had a toilet paper debacle because everyone was freaking out and you couldn't get toilet paper. And then everyone was trying to get it. And then it just created this domino effect where you couldn't.
Right. It didn't matter if you had a surplus at home. If you saw some at the store, you were going to buy it because you were like, I might not get it. And then
everyone's like, I got to wipe my ass. Hey, Lex, while you're texting, I'm going to take 5. I like the Take 5 because it's got the pretzel in it, which gives you some salt. Take 5 when you really need to take 15 and all you have is 5. Do you know what I need? I really need 15, but I'm just going to take 5. I love fucking Reese's peanut butter cup. One time I got one of their large Reese's peanut butter cups. It was like
huge one.
It was like this fucking big. I worked on that shit for like 4 days. It was so hard. I hate when people call Reese's.
Correct.
Oh, you get the Reese's? No, bitch, it's a Reese's.
Yes. If Reese, they're Reese's pieces. If Reese was a person, they're his pieces. So how would you say it? They're Reese's pieces, bitch. It ain't Reese's pieces, ho. It's not. If Reese, well, how would you tell people Reese had pieces? They're Reese's pieces. Tell me I'm wrong. Tll me I'm wrong.
Oh my God.
That's the same fucking thing. If you say, I'm just going to say it now. I'm going to say it now. If you say espresso, I'm going to punch your fucking 2 front teeth out so you don't need to drink espresso.
Is that how DMX orders it? I'll take an espresso.
You mean Exhibit? Exhibit would have been a better one.
DMX. Didn't you say X gonna bring it to you?
Oh,
that'd be great if he was a server at an espresso bar. You'd be like, yeah, I'll get my espresso. You'd be like, okay, yeah.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. Yeah, because that's what it was in the.
Oh my God, he's like, and here's your Danish.
X gonna give it to you. Because that's at the end of a Rick and Morty episode where they go to like beat up racists and people like that. They play that song, you know.
I just started watching more Rick and Morty.
Well, what I was taking all this time to look up was my friend posted a meme that was if people with a haunted house for people with anxiety. And so like the ones that I'm finding are not that, but it was, someone jumps out and asks you if you remember to turn the stove off before you left. You get a text that says, call me.
That's funny.
You can only exit if you ask a stranger for directions. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the haunted house. So they talk about the layers of like, what would a true haunted house be?
I don't like haunted houses. I don't like being scared. So last week I went to Costco to get our full-size candy bars for Halloween. And last year we went, and we probably should have gone a little earlier because it was like getting out of slim pickings. And like I never gave out full-size candy bars until I started living with Greg. And he's like, we have to do it. And I'm like, ooh. But it's just like, it's so much fun, and it costs a little bit of money, but like.
It's expensive, but you get all of those. You get all of the kids' reactions that are just so excited. The best Halloween costume I heard was this kid was the very last kid at all the houses, and he would go up and knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm your period. Sorry, I'm late."
Wow, that's
and
good.
Everyone was like giving him the rest of their candy. And he was a little old. It was not like a weird like little kid situation, but it was funny because this girl was like the very last trick-or-treater that came to my house intentionally was late and said, "Hey, sorry, I'm late. I'm your period." And it was just like he either had an older sister who thought that shit was so funny, because I know a little 14-year-old is not going to come up with that, but like the girl said she gave him all of the rest of her candy that she had, and she said she was going to eat it herself. She goes, "I gave him all of it because it was so funny."
Yeah. But yeah, I love Costco and I hate it at the same time.
Costco was my haunted house, bitch.
It's just like the anxiety of having to go. Okay, so the parking lot is always busy. Everyone's always walking in the street.
Well, why does everyone want to? Why does everyone want to park by the fucking front door?
I don't get it. There's
you could park
a
anywhere.
whole parking lot.
You could park anywhere and just walk in, park and walk.
That's a big phenomenon because people will literally sit in their car and drive around to try to find a really close spot. I mean, you could literally just park and walk in and you'd be in the fucking mall or the store already.
Correct.
And also, I get anxiety too when you park super close sometimes and it's really busy. Like you just can't. You're not going to be able to get out. Like if you park at the mall and you park really close to the front during like Christmas time, and then you got to get out of that shit, and everyone's like trying to find a spot. Like I hate that shit. So, but yeah, Greg likes to go down every aisle. He's one of those people. Like
love you, Greg, but
he will go in and be like, "Let's look at TVs," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And then we'll literally like you just go through every single aisle, and those first aisles that you go in, whether it's on the right or the left, are like you're fucked aisle. Like we are literally. You made it in here and you're going to walk down to see what deals or bowls or they had a thing called Battery Daddy. And I was just like, someone want to be my Battery Daddy?
That sounds like what I need.
Battery Daddy. But yeah, I intentionally skipped that shit because I'm just trying to go to the grocery store.
Yep.
And I always get people that are like, "Oh, why are all the electronics so cheap at Costco? Like, why would they be so cheap there?" And I'm like, try to go into Costco and not spend $400.
Oh, for sure. The thing I thought was the funniest was back in the day, I wanted to say going to like my first Costco. We never really went to Costco when we were a kid, but when we lived in the Midwest, it was Sam's Club. And so you had those things with the big fucking flats. I always assume those things like Home Depot where you go and you got the big fucking, it's not a cart. It's a cart with no cart. It's just the slab. So when you get that, it's very industrial, and you're like, "Wow, what are we doing?"
Yeah, everyone's trying to buy for their little restaurant.
Cash and carry. Our dad did cash and carry a lot.
Yeah.
I thought you had to work at a restaurant to be at cash and carry because, I mean, dear God, the sizes are ginormous. That's where you get the $17 block of cheese that's this big.
That's true. I really should go back to that because I haven't been in a while.
Cash and carry is great. Cash and carry is like the Costco, like
it's a Costco light.
Not even. It's like the better kept secret because you don't need a membership to go there.
That's true.
I heard that because the one thing, so on Mother's Day or days that I miss my mom, the one thing I remember about her a lot, which is so fucking funny. Like if I could have a conversation with her, she'd be like, "Really, bitch? It's the Costco hot dogs that remind you of me." Yeah, when I miss mom, I'll go to a Costco that has the food on the outside, and I'll get a Costco dog because her and I used to fuck those up when we used to go there.
I remember we used to just go.
It's like $1.
Yeah,
$1, $2,
let's go to
whatever.
Costco and get a hot dog. And I'm like, we're gonna go to fucking Costco
just for a hot dog,
eat.
and they were so good.
But they're so delicious. I'm vegetarian now. We'll see how long this lasts. We've been doing it about a year and a half. But yeah, I do like their hot dogs.
Fuck, my favorite thing is a hot dog bar. Like when you got the fucking onions that turn. Love it. Relish, all the shit. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. So Mother's Day this last year after I got off work, I went and got a hot dog and ate it. It was cute.
Our mom passed away 12 years ago.
Yes.
From breast cancer.
Yes.
So yeah, we definitely kind of miss those moments. I remember my mom when you go to Taco Bell and she would always get a bean burrito. So I get a bean burrito for her in honor. I try to get one every day and I try to get 5 of them. Just kidding. I do like bean burritos a lot. But I remember we would always get tacos and she'd always get the bean burrito. I'm like, fuck. It's just weird that you remember those things.
Yeah, she would always do Pepsi in the gold can. But it'd be the gold can, so it's the caffeine free.
Diet caffeine free.
Yep, yeah, caffeine free.
I'll fuck those up. Also, those are probably not good for us, and people will be like, "Oh, it's breast cancer." Soda is probably not great, especially diet soda. But I like diet soda. I'm kind of a loser.
Yeah, whatever. As long as you drink water.
You know what I don't like is Coca-Cola has these commercials, and it's usually at the beginning of like movies, and they were doing all this stuff about like, oh, you're drinking a Diet Coke like your mom's drink Diet Coke. And like, it was this whole ad about how like, if you want to drink a Diet Coke, you can just have one. You're not a mom. And I'm like, fuck you. Okay. Nobody needs this fucking advertising. Diet Coke. You want a Diet Coke, drink Diet Coke. Nobody gives a fuck.
Diet Coke got popular in the 90s because you had the supermodel body. You had the Jennifer Aniston. You had the girls from Friends that were really fucking small, petite. That's why they said, if I'm not mistaken, I heard somewhere that they wore bras that had nipples on the outside. Because if you watch fucking Friends, it took me a while until someone, I want to say it was like my mom, said something about it.
I noticed it.
You can see their nipples
they have nips in every episode.
And it's not just this, it's not just the set is not cold. I was told by someone, and this could be complete bullshit, but I was told they wore like really thin bralettes that had a little bit of a pokey nip. Because it was,
That makes sense because people like, especially like, because I'm gay, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, like, why are your nips always out?
To be honest, they hurt. When it's cold like that, like it hurts. It makes your titties hurt. The same like when you're on your period or PMSing, like your boobs swell and they fucking hurt.
But that would make sense because if you're watching and Jennifer Aniston's nips are kind of peeking, I mean, I'm sure as a guy you'd be like, "Oh fuck, nips, no, the nips poking
But that
through."
was all the Diet Coke. That was the Diet Coke culture. Was all the '90s and the cigarettes. You know, what was They said that the supermodel diet used to be like a Diet Coke and a cigarette.
Yeah, that's stupid.
You know, so Diet Coke got popular for people who were my age, growing up in that. Or like moms and stuff, because moms drank it. So that's kind of where it came from, is that Friends culture in the 90s was all these women drank Diet Coke, and that's their flavor preference now.
They got this ad, and it's like, if you want to drink a Diet Coke, just drink one. And people are like, yeah, if I want a Diet Coke, I just drink a Diet Coke. It doesn't matter if I'm a mom. And it's like, fuck your stupid advertising, this biased advertising. Just say, hey, we're Coke, and we make Diet Coke. And if you don't like Coke and you want a fucking Diet Coke, then drink a Diet Coke, because we've been making it for 40 fucking years. Fuck you. That would be my advertisement. Here's a Coke. We also make Diet Coke. And we make a shittier version of that if you're trying to drink before you go to bed, but you don't want the caffeine. We got the caffeine free.
Well,
pick the one you want.
You know what that's telling me is like the same thing they say you don't see advertisements for Ferraris. So if they're making Diet Coke commercials, still, it means that people are stopping soda.
Yeah, people probably aren't buying it. And you have Coke Zero, and then you have Cherry Coke. I love it. I love a Coke Zero.
That's the one thing I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't fucking get any of that because I'm not a huge soda person.
Yeah.
My favorite soda would be like if I'm sick, Cherry 7-Up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll fuck up a Cherry 7-Up.
Only time I ever want soda.
I love a Cherry 7-Up. And the one that I really like is Diet Cherry 7-Up because it's not as
Kmart isn't
syrupy.
Open anymore.
No, you can't really find it that much. It's also, I've noticed that stuff is regional. So they have the Code Red Mountain Dew. They also had Diet Code Red Mountain Dew. But I remember my friend in New York was like, he was like New York and New Hampshire or Maine or something, one of those areas. And he was like, we have that shit all over. And when I'm out here, I cannot find it. So I'm sure enough people have bought and not bought stuff. And they're like, well, fuck Oregon because they don't drink that shit. We're going to put it over here, whatever.
Send it to Florida.
I used to just do diet soda because I'm like, oh, there's sugar or whatever. But then, you know, with diet soda, it's like, oh, here's a soda, but we mix the sugar molecule with chlorine or whatever the fuck. So when it goes into your body goes, well, that's not sugar. It's like the sugar is in a trench coat, like 3 sugars, and they're trying to sneak into a movie theater. And you're like, all right, come on in.
I mean, basically.
And then your body at the end of the night's like, well, I thought we had more people in here, but... So who knows? I'm sure soda is not great for us in the end. It's like when we go like, oh, cigarettes cause cancer. We're going to find out in 20 years. We'll be like, fuck, soda? Oh my God. It causes butthole and liver and breast cancer. Whoops. Well, I mean, like people already say it does, but you know. Yeah. But yeah, I love a cherry anything cherry soda. I love a Shirley Temple. And I think that's why I like the cherry 7-Up is because it's really close to a Shirley Temple.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Because, the grenadine.
I always liked cherry 7-Up because it was hard to find.
Yep.
You couldn't find it anywhere. And so whenever I was sick, it would magically appear. And I think that's why it was so fantastic because Mom knew cherry 7-Up. Now, if anyone out there, for the vast depths that our podcast travels, if anyone can fucking find me, there's a club soda brand, Bubbly.
Okay.
The fucking apple is top tier.
Apple.
And they don't.
It's called Bubbly Apple.
It's the brand is Bubbly. The flavor is apple. They make all fucking different kinds. The grapefruit's really good. My friend turned me onto it, pandemic. And that's when everyone was doing pandemic and everyone was doing like the aesthetic fridge. And so you can get any rainbow color of these sodas. The fucking apple one is fantastic. And I can't find it.
Probably
They
on
don't make it.
Amazon.
No, they don't fucking make it anymore.
Damn, fuck you, Bubbly.
Yeah. So give me that apple.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried to not drink a lot of soda. I try to treat myself to soda if I'm on a trip or at a restaurant, but I try not to have it in the house because I would just literally drink nonstop. And I try not to do a lot of caffeine before bed just because I feel like I sleep better, whatever. I'm an adult now. And Greg always gives me shit about it because I try not to do chocolate before bed, caffeine before bed, because I get the Jimmy legs. My legs want to like run around. And my brain's like, okay, nighttime. And then my body's like, let's go run around the block.
Tap dancing.
And then it's just super frustrating. So I try not to do it super late. But I was going to buy the Mexican Cokes at Costco today, but they only have it in 1 liter bottles. And them shits is fucking huge. It is
That's true. We had
it
those
is like
for
a
Christmas last
double-ended
year.
dildo. It is. And then you can't finish it all, but it's like, those ones are like, I just want to try it when I'm on vacation, not every day. Like you can't, and they're $30.
Jesus Christ.
They're so big. And so you can't just be drinking. Like you could kill somebody with this liter bottle. You're like, "Clack." The one thing I hate about Costco is when you go in and whatever group goes into the store, you basically have to zigzag by these people for the next hour.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. And I try to avoid it. I try to do different areas. But like you walk in.
Everyone's in the same cosmos at the same time.
You start going down an aisle and you see some stupid fucking, 3 couples and you go down. Then you go down the next aisle and then everyone zigzags back in. You're like, the same fucking people. And you weave back and forth through the whole fucking Costco. And then you get to the food.
And then you basically know what their list is. And you're like, hey, did you guys grab the mixed
So
nuts
annoying.
in the aisle over?
And then sometimes it's like, can you get out of the fucking way? Get out of the way. Like I shop with this. There was an old lady, and I don't want to be ageist or whatever, but she was just so inconsiderate. She would just stop in the middle, and then like there'd already be people, and she would just kind of stop in between the people, and it's like, can you move? So like you are welcome to shop, but like get out of the way.
Do we need shopping baskets and carts
Shopping
to have blinkers?
etiquette. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I think shopping carts at Costco should have blinkers. Because you got a full ass cart, man, that you'll fuck up a hip. You're just like I love when you get a full cart at Costco and you start going and that momentum is like,
you can't stop.
You got to get out of the fucking way because I'm
at Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I'm going to crush them ankles, bitch.
Oops, sorry.
I also love when you're at the vegetable aisle at Costco. Most things you buy at Costco are like this, but especially vegetables. There's always this idea, this higher enlightenment of what you think you're going to do with the vegetables at Costco. And you're like, oh, a 2-pack salad? Sure. Oh, I'm going to be that person now. And oh, a 10-pack of avocados? I'm also going to be that person. I'm going to eat an avocado. I'm going to slice it in half and I'm going to eat it at
my
lunch.
Double salad.
Yeah. And then whatever fucking vegetables, Brussels sprout, corn, like... And every time I'm just bringing it home and putting it into my little vegetable hospice.
The little,
just
the little crypt at the bottom of the fridge.
Hey, I have high hopes for you. And my enthusiasm for you will be high for about 2 days and then gone. I have to have everything at eye level from Costco.
Say,
if it goes in the drawer, bitch, that shit is just dead.
Okay, well, here's my homework challenge for you. As they say, on social media, they say the ADHD hack is all your condiments go in the drawers. They say you're supposed to put all your condiments in the drawers because if you need a condiment, you'll go get it. And they say that you keep all your fruits and vegetables, kind of depending, because I know the drawers are like for the crisper, but like everything's you're supposed to keep your vegetables not in the vegetable drawer, because if you need a condiment, you'll go into the condiment. So you should rearrange your fridge, bitch.
I mean, that's true. Also, I think I have a better plan. I'm just going to stop buying vegetables altogether.
Then you don't have to throw them away.
Yeah. If I don't buy it, I won't eat it. For a person that's a vegetarian, and I was vegan for 5 years, I don't like vegetables. I mean, I like vegetables because, whatever.
Ryan is what we would call a potato chip vegan.
Okay, potato is a vegetable, but it's not great.
Correct, but you would consider yourself vegan because you eat a bag of Doritos for dinner. There's no meat.
Okay, so the only vegan Doritos were the salsa verde and the sweet chili, which I do not like. That's the purple bag. Those ones are not great.
My Pete Davidson loves those. I have those in my cabinet right now.
Yeah, the salsa verde is good, but like my favorite is you can't have the cheese on vegan. Cheese. So, but yeah, I don't know. I want to like live in a different part of the world, not in this country, so I can have new vegetables. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not.
And not that I'm going to eat those vegetables, but like what vegetables are they? Green beans, salad, corn, tomato, a potato, broccoli, carrots. Like that's it. Like that's all the shit. You're going to make a stew. You're going to make a salad. You're going to make a different salad.
But you can have some cheesy broccoli.
You know what I mean? So like, I just kind of want to live somewhere where I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You just need.
What the fuck is this?
You just need to live with a personal chef who chefs for you and cooks for you.
I guess. But like, and when I was vegan, I ate a lot of vegetables, and I'm vegetarian. I should eat more vegetables than I do. But like, I find vegetables to be just boring, and I not into like I'm an elitist or whatever. But like, it's all the same shit, And like, you go somewhere and you're like, oh, here's a Brussels sprout, and Brussels sprouts taste really good when they're covered in maple syrup and they're crunchy. But I kind of just want to live somewhere, when you go get the carrots and they be like brown and red and they look like they pulled that shit up out of the ground. Those are good.
All carrots come out of the ground.
No, but they're not like the big ass bright orange carrot that Bugs Bunny's chewing on, and they have different flavors and stuff. You know what I mean? So this year we're planning on doing full candy bars. Maybe we'll have you come over and hang out. Do you always do like Halloween movies for Halloween? I
mean, on occasion. It kind of depends. I'm so awful with movies and things like that. Like we're rewatching like the Harry Potter series right now, so that's been fun because that's the last couple movies are fucking really scary. Good, yeah. The last couple movies are fucking scary.
I don't watch the last ones just because it's like I think I was
watching 5 or 6. Yeah. Honestly, I was watching like 5 or 6 with my Pete Davidson, and he fell asleep, and I was like, "Can you wake up? Because this is fucking scary."
Yeah. They get more scarier. I love Harry Potter movies. I don't like the Harry Potter lady, but I still like them. But when you get to those last like 6 and then the 2, 7, we're like
5 really ramps it up. Yeah. 5 is they're like he's back. 5's crazy.
Technically, it's 4, but whatever.
But, that's true. Yeah. But when you start 5, the whole filter of the movie is different. It's all very ominous and weird, and it's really scary.
I like Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I like watching a lot of like TV episodes. So like Hulu will show you just the Halloween episodes. So some of my favorite are like the Simpsons Halloween episodes.
Oh yeah, so good.
Those are great. The what is it? Treehouse of Horror.
Yep, those are
always
great.
So good. And then I'm not really big on like scary movies. I don't like gore. I don't like watching people get their fingers cut off and shit like that. Like,
I'll probably do like the Scream movies.
Scream's good. I really like the Scream movies.
The Scream ones are good.
The first one is great. The second one is all right. The third one's all right. And then you start getting into kind of like, let's see if we can revive it. The newer one was really good too. I really like the new one that just dropped. But I guess it might do more. But I think what's the main lady's name? Nev Campbell. I don't think she's going to do it because they didn't want to pay her enough. I mean, like, how are you not paying this bitch enough money to do this fucking movie? She is literally the person.
She's the girl, yeah.
And if you come to her and you're like, hi, lady, would you like to do a Scream movie, please? And they write a number down and she's just like, well, that's not enough. And they're like, okay, bye. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Or do you think she asked for an astronomical amount because she didn't want to do it?
No, I think she knows that she's the bitch.
Yeah.
And you need to give her what she's worth. And male actors traditionally make more than women actors anyway, and they're probably just trying to lowball her. She's like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing your stupid ass movie. Plus, when you do them for 20 years, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because they did one. I think she might have been in it for a little bit or wasn't in it. And they tried to do like a new group, and it was all right. But the new one was good. Yeah, there are a lot of good TV show Halloween episodes. I always enjoy like a good Frasier, or you know what I mean, where they'll have like a Halloween. Yeah, they'll just have their like one-off Halloween episodes that they time out. Do you know why the Treehouse of Horror Halloween episodes would come out after Halloween? Do you ever remember that? They do them so every so often.
I never thought it was. I always thought it was because they never released new episodes when there was like Simpsons came out on Sundays.
Yeah. Well, they would usually do it before, but if the World Series had to go to an extra game, they would that would be on that night, baseball. And they would have to push the Simpsons episode till the next week. So every so often you'll see a Simpsons episode and they'll be like, Halloween in November? And they'll be like, yep. And that's because the World Series had an extra game.
Because it probably happens so often to where it got fucking pushed. Yeah.
And so they would have these fail safes in there.
That's what's spooky.
Yeah. I like the South Park Halloween episodes are always really fun, especially the old ones. Yeah, Halloween's always really fun. I don't know. I wish we had like a second Halloween.
Halloween 2.
Yeah, like in like May,
They said that someone said that you should make every single month 30 days, and that you should take the leap year. Every month should have 30 days, and they said you should take the leap year and add it to the end of Halloween and have Halloween 2. So then you'd have the Halloween 31st would be every or 32nd every 4 years,
like an extra.
Yeah, because basically they say back in the day, not to get but they said that with Greek mythology that like Augustus, he took an extra day. So that's why there's 31 days in August. And like, that's the whole fucking rhyme and shit. So that's why the days are not fucking even, which is stupid.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason to have days, but
also Halloween, bitch. I'll
if
take
your birthday's
Halloween.
on the 31st and they're like, hey, let's not have 31st anymore. You'd be like, what the fuck? What about my day? And they'd be like, well, you can have the 1st or the 30th. You get to pick. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Halloween. If you're watching this after Halloween. Wow, Halloween was so fun.
It was great.
Oh my God. I
hope you checked all your kids' candy for that weed that no one fucking put in it.
That is always the stupidest fucking thing. I mean, granted, parents should check the candy, just make sure it's not, moldy or whatever. But like, ain't nobody putting
or like make sure
shit.
It's not like ripped and, taped closed, right? Obvious, but my friend posted something on Instagram and it was a meme and it said like, drugs are too expensive. We're not putting them in your kids' candy.
Yeah, nobody's putting weed gummies in your kids' candy.
Although I did hear from My Favorite Murder, Georgia talks about how when her husband was young, they would take their candy to the police station and it would get metal detected or it would get x-rayed or some kind of something. And every year they did it because syringes or whatever. And I just was like, wow, that's crazy.
They used to scare people more. But also, we don't want to get into it, but I remember there was a My Favorite Murder where they talked about people were poisoning like Tylenol, or there was a whole thing there, like, and they never figured out who. So
they've never figured it out,
but there are things that happen. So I think people get kind of scared.
And that's why people don't know this, but that's why there are safety seals on bottles now, specifically from that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of wild. Happy Halloween. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you have a good Halloween. Watch some scary movies. Give out full candy bars if you can afford it, or just buy one for yourself and eat it.
That's true.
And give out the little thing, because I like having the little assortment where you kind of like, ooh, do I want the little?
Yeah, your candy charcuterie. Your charcuterie.
That's
damn,
amazing.
I'm good.
That's amazing.
All right,
everyone. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
See you next week.
See you in November. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, do you have to clap?
Oh, yes. Ooh.
That was a good one.